Now to our segment, Mental Health Thursdays. Of course, the big story on many minds right now, the terror attack in New Orleans. Usually with situations like this one, there's a long-term effect.
Yeah, whether it's anxiety or fear, not to mention news is everywhere now. So hearing about a bad situation, you don't have to watch the news, right? It's unavoidable at this point. So how can we move forward from something like this? Mental health expert Marla Gadet joins us now to help us explain this and put this into context, because this is not easy stuff. Before we get into that, though, I just want to get your initial reactions when you heard what happened in New Orleans.
When I saw it, when I heard it, I said, this is Highland Park, Illinois. I thought about people who now have to say, is my friend there? Did they go? Did they get a ticket? Did they go to the game? Oh, and then when we come back to work, who's going to be thinking about work when you're all connected to all of these things?
It's upsetting. Like, you go online and you have to see people marking themselves safe.
Yes.
It should be a thing, but it is in our world.
It is, and how it affects our young adults. Kids love football. They're all watching it. They're all on break.
Yep.
And now they go back to school.
Yeah, and of course it's New Year's Eve celebration. You're supposed to be celebrating a new beginning, a new year, and then something like this happens. You mentioned Highland Park. I want to mention you responded. You kind of helped in that situation, right?
So it was after the initial attack. I was contacted by an organization that said, hey, we need some post-crisis trauma intervention. Oh yeah, sure, what's going on? Highland Park. Highland Park?
Right.
You think it's over, right? It was a marketing firm. People could not work.
Yeah.
When you go to work knowing that yesterday, because it was on the 4th, the next day was a work day. How do employees expect people to go back to work? How does an employer say, oh, well, you weren't there, you're alive?
Yeah, right. I mean,
your kid didn't get hurt.
Right.
You talk about that, and you went to some of those folks. What were some of the things that you heard? What were some of the things that connected all of them?
The actual proximity. It's being that close in region to a situation, and then it being the effects of the people. The effects of what happens to Joshua affects me. I may not know that until after it's over.
Gotcha.
And of course we're talking about a mass shooting at a 4th of July parade, a truck attack, shooting at a New Year's Eve celebrations. What are we supposed to do? How do we act normal after this and go to these normal events in a world where it's a little scary?
Yeah, it can be a little scary, but first of all, let's take away normal. And let's just say, typically this is what would happen, but we're right here and things are happening that we see online and other places right with us. So how do I prepare for that? Having a sound mental health still can get you in a situation of fear and anxiety, but we have to really make sure, you all, that our mental health is up to par, that we're stable, whatever that means, in most cases, that we can handle situations. How do you do that? Just like you have a physical every year, get yourself a mental health checkup every year. See where you are. See if there's some triggers there underneath that you may not even know about. So if something ever does happen, you're prepared. You have a mental health counselor. You have somebody on site. You know your own triggers. You know how to get the help you need.
You talk about going to those annuals, those physicals. This should be a part of that, right? This should be part of the plan.
Your mental health assessment should be annual, just like your annual physical. And people don't think about that. Yes, I need my mental health checkup.
How are you doing? I know we texted right after this happened, because I know you are usually the one who responds to others in times of need. But how are you?
Thank you for asking. People don't ever ask me. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm looking at the situation because I know what PTSD triggers are, and I know people are going to experience some aggression, some agitation, some brain fog. And so I'm making sure that I don't have those things right now, right? My own triggers, so I can be available for others.
Any advice how you can calm anxiety? Because I'm going to be honest, I even said I knew coming in today, this is going to be our work day. There's a lot of information. It can be overwhelming, sad stories. How can we calm that anxiety a little bit?
Anxiety gets calmed with staying in the moment. If you keep thinking about what happened 2 days ago or what's going to happen next day, you will be anxious. You'll have an anxious symptom. So just stay in the moment. What's going on right here, right now? We're all here. We're talking about how we can make things better. and that's what we focus on.
Helping people.
Need
We
it.
love it. We love when you're here too. Marla Godet, thank you. This kind of goes
you.
Thank you.
into our question of the day too.
Yeah.
We wanted to know if you were in New Orleans for the game after the attack, what would you do?
Your options,
and
of
those,
course.
Yeah, you see that there.
Yeah.
And you see what some folks would say. And Marla, really quickly, I mean, does this shock you at all? I don't know if this shocks you to see the results right now, but this is what some people say, at least the majority say that.
Yeah, majority of people say I would stay and attend because we've been taught that already happened.
Wow.
They're not going to do it again.
Wow.
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 It already happened. They're not going to do it again. That's over. And most people are hopeful.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a response of a hopeful society.
We need that right now.
Optimism.
And that's what we need.
We
need
can't
it.
let the other side win, right?
can't. That's
Need
true.
some love and hope.
That's it. That's it.
Marla, thank you so much. You
Thank
can see
you.
this interview, by the
Thank
way, for some
you.
reason, if you were watching something else, like a game or so.
Yeah.
It'll be at WNDU.com.
0-0. Watch us.
Watch that.
We'll be right back. Stay there.
Thank you.